Sharon was a vibrant young woman of 19, whose presence seemed to light up any room she entered. Her eyes sparkled with curiosity, her smile carried warmth, and her energy was almost contagious. That evening, she found herself at an elegant restaurant, dressed simply but gracefully, enjoying the quiet hum of diners and the subtle clinking of silverware. Across the room, a man caught her attention, not because of his clothes, which were neat but unremarkable, nor because of his demeanor, which carried a quiet confidence, but because of the sudden shock that crossed his face. His name was Martin, a self-made millionaire who had once built a vast empire of businesses, only to see everything crumble in a series of unfortunate financial disasters. That night, during what was supposed to be an extravagant dinner, Martin discovered that his credit card had been blocked. The moment of disbelief froze him for a heartbeat. He had faced business failures before, but nothing quite like the humiliation of being unable to pay for a meal in public. Sharon, observing the distress and confusion in his eyes, felt an unexpected pull, a mix of empathy, curiosity, and a strange sense of destiny. Without hesitation, she stood up, approached the table, and quietly offered to cover the bill. The gesture, small in action but enormous in consequence, marked the beginning of an encounter that neither of them would ever forget. Martin, initially hesitant and embarrassed, tried to refuse, but Sharon's warm insistence left him no room to argue. That single act of kindness sparked a conversation, tentative at first, then gradually flowing with laughter, shared stories, and confessions that strangers rarely make. The dinner, which had begun as a potential embarrassment, transformed into a profound connection. Sharon discovered that Martin was not just wealthy, but also intelligent, resourceful, and surprisingly humble. His confidence was evident, yet there was a vulnerability beneath it, a vulnerability born not of weakness but of recent, deep loss. He spoke of his businesses, his past successes, and, without pride, the sequence of events that led to his financial collapse. Sharon listened, not with judgment, but with genuine interest, offering insights and encouragement that Martin had not expected from a stranger. As the night progressed, they realized that their encounter was far from ordinary. Sharon, who had always believed in the power of human kindness, saw in Martin a man who, despite losing everything materially, had retained his essential goodness. And Martin, whose life had been defined by contracts, balance sheets, and calculated risks, felt something entirely new, trust, built not on wealth or status, but on genuine human connection. In the days that followed, Martin faced the harsh realities of his new life. His properties were seized, his bank accounts frozen, and he became, for the first time in years, vulnerable to the world in a way he had never known. Eviction notices and legal warnings piled up, each one a reminder that wealth could vanish overnight, leaving only the fragile human at the center of it all. It was during this lowest point that Sharon's influence became profound. Despite her own modest circumstances, she offered Martin a place to stay, a small apartment, warm but unassuming, where she had built a life of simplicity and care. Her invitation was not out of obligation but out of compassion, a willingness to bridge the gap between two lives so starkly different yet strangely aligned. Moving in with Sharon was initially awkward for Martin. He was used to luxury, autonomy, and complete control, and the modest surroundings challenged him in ways he had never experienced. Yet, over time, he began to see the beauty in the simplicity, the authenticity of a life not dictated by wealth, and the joy of being appreciated for one's character rather than one's bank balance. Martin's skills, which had contributed to his earlier successes in business, proved unexpectedly useful in this new setting. He discovered that his knowledge of construction, design, and practical problem-solving could help improve the small apartment, making it more functional and cozy. Sharon watched with admiration as Martin worked tirelessly, fixing broken shelves, adjusting furniture, and even creating small innovations to make daily life easier. It was a reminder that skills and resilience were not bound to money. They persisted beyond financial success and could transform any situation when paired with determination. Their shared experiences built intimacy, small gestures of care, laughter over minor mishaps, and deep conversations late into the night. Sharon shared her dreams, fears, and past experiences, while Martin revealed layers of vulnerability he had long kept hidden behind a facade of confidence and wealth. The apartment became a sanctuary, a place where both could be wholly themselves without pretense or expectation. However, the journey was not without challenges. Martin's past friendships began to show their fragility. His former best friend, Zach, who had once celebrated every business milestone with him, vanished when bankruptcy struck. Calls went unanswered, messages ignored, and excuses multiplied. The betrayal stung, revealing the conditional nature of some relationships and the true meaning of loyalty. In stark contrast, Sharon's unwavering support stood out, illuminating the difference between shallow companionship based on convenience and genuine care that transcended circumstances. Their bond deepened, built on shared resilience, mutual respect, and the understanding that life's true treasures were intangible: trust, love, and support. Amid this backdrop of rebuilding, a new obstacle emerged. Evidence crucial to clearing Martin's name from certain fraudulent accusations was locked in a safe, the key to which was lost during the chaos of his financial collapse. Retrieving it would require ingenuity, courage, and persistence, as others who had contributed to his downfall were now actively working against him. The challenge tested not only Martin's intellect and problem-solving abilities but also his emotional strength. Sharon, ever present, became both ally and strategist, helping to devise plans, offering encouragement, and standing by him when danger or despair loomed. Their teamwork transcended mere cooperation. It was a blending of minds and hearts, a testament to what partnership truly meant. Through these trials, the narrative revealed deeper insights: the ephemeral nature of wealth, the enduring power of skill and perseverance, the fragility of relationships built on material comfort, and above all, the transformative impact of kindness. Sharon's initial act of paying for a dinner became a metaphor for the ripple effect of empathy, a single gesture altering the course of two lives forever. Martin learned that while money could be lost in an instant, integrity, resilience, and love were far more enduring and valuable. As days turned to weeks, the suspense surrounding the safe and the potential restoration of Martin's reputation added tension and urgency, but it also allowed moments of tenderness, humor, and reflection between them. Ultimately, what began as a chance encounter blossomed into a profound relationship. Sharon's belief in Martin rekindled his confidence, proving that support and encouragement could empower someone to rise from adversity. Martin, in turn, discovered that true success was not measured by bank balances or property ownership but by the ability to love, trust, and be loved in return. As they navigated obstacles, betrayals, and the lingering effects of financial ruin, their connection deepened, culminating in a realization that would forever alter their perception of value and happiness. Love, in its purest form, was priceless. Material loss, public humiliation, and personal setbacks could test the human spirit, but they could not diminish the profound wealth found in emotional bonds. Sharon and Martin, having faced the worst of circumstances, embraced this truth together, their relationship a testament to hope, resilience, and the enduring power of human connection. The days that followed were a mixture of challenge and discovery. Martin, despite his past achievements, had never faced a life stripped so bare. Yet, with Sharon by his side, he began to see that adversity could be transformative. Every obstacle, from navigating legal threats to piecing together the fragmented remnants of his financial empire, was met with a newfound patience and determination. Sharon, too, found herself growing through the experience. She had always been compassionate, but living so closely with someone who had known both extreme wealth and devastating loss taught her the subtle strength of resilience, the quiet power of persistence, and the importance of unwavering supporting relationships. Their quest to retrieve the safe key became a journey in itself. The key had disappeared amid the chaos of Martin's financial collapse, and finding it required both ingenuity and courage. Martin, drawing upon his analytical mind and construction skills, devised meticulous plans to track its location. Sharon contributed not just emotional support but practical insight, recalling details Martin had overlooked, and suggesting approaches that combined intuition with logic. Their collaboration became almost seamless, a dance of minds and hearts working toward a common goal. The tension of the search added layers to their relationship. Each small success, each clue uncovered, strengthened their trust in one another, proving that true partnership was built in moments of both hardship and triumph. Meanwhile, external pressures continued to mount. The individuals responsible for Martin's downfall were not idle. Some actively sought to impede his recovery, threatening legal action and even personal safety. The world Martin had once dominated with wealth and influence now seemed a labyrinth of deceit and betrayal. Yet, Sharon's presence remained a constant source of stability. Her unwavering belief in Martin's integrity and abilities reminded him that, even in a hostile environment, genuine human connection could provide courage and clarity. The contrast between those who abandoned him, friends who had once feigned loyalty, and Sharon's steadfast support highlighted the difference between superficial relationships built on convenience and profound bonds founded on trust and care. As Martin navigated the treacherous path to reclaim his reputation, small victories brought renewed hope. Every lead traced, every piece of evidence located, and every problem solved was a testament to his resilience, and to the transformative power of Sharon's belief in him. The safe key, once lost, eventually surfaced in a moment of revelation that underscored the story's recurring theme: perseverance, combined with support from someone who truly cares, could overcome even the most formidable obstacles. It was a triumph not just of logic and effort, but of trust, patience, and love. Throughout this period, their relationship blossomed, shared experiences, working late into the night, strategizing over meals, celebrating small successes, built a bond that went far beyond romance. Martin came to value Sharon not only for her kindness but for her intellect, intuition, and strength. Sharon, in turn, saw layers of Martin she might never have discovered in a life insulated by wealth, humility, vulnerability, and a capacity for deep reflection. Together, they created a world within the modest apartment that rivaled the opulence Martin had once known, not in material terms, but in richness of spirit, mutual respect, and emotional depth. The climax of their journey came with the successful opening of the safe. Inside lay the crucial documents that would clear Martin's name and restore his dignity. Yet, the moment was more than a legal or financial victory. It symbolized the culmination of resilience, courage, and partnership. The triumph affirmed that recovery was possible even from the lowest points, and that true wealth lay not in money or status but in trust, integrity, and human connection. Sharon and Martin, standing together with the safe now open, experienced not just relief but a profound sense of unity, an understanding that their combined strength had overcome adversity where individual effort alone might have failed. As the tension of the outside world subsided, they allowed themselves to reflect on the journey they had shared. Martin, who had once equated self-worth with financial success, recognized that his most significant achievement was not rebuilding wealth but discovering the value of authentic relationships. Sharon, whose spontaneous act of kindness had set the entire story in motion, realized the extraordinary impact of empathy and courage in forging connections. Their experiences revealed the enduring truth that love, support, and mutual respect could withstand trials that money could not, offering a richness of life impossible to quantify. In the quiet moments following the resolution, Sharon and Martin found themselves alone in the modest apartment that had become their sanctuary. They spoke softly of dreams, fears, and hopes, and in the intimacy of shared vulnerability, their love deepened. Material concerns, once dominant in Martin's life, seemed trivial compared to the emotional wealth he now possessed. They understood that even if wealth were permanently lost, even if public humiliation lingered in the background, the bond they had forged would remain unshakable. The apartment, humble and unassuming, became a symbol of transformation, a place where trust, courage, and love converged to create something more enduring than any financial empire. Ultimately, their story became a testament to the human spirit. It illustrated that kindness could spark life-changing connections, that resilience could overcome even the harshest adversity, and that love, priceless, unconditional, and unwavering, remained the truest measure of wealth. Sharon's initial act of generosity had cascaded into a journey of trust, courage, and mutual growth, transforming both their lives. Martin learned that losing money did not mean losing value, that betrayal could illuminate true loyalty, and that personal skills and determination could rebuild what seemed irreparably broken. Sharon discovered the profound joy of being present for someone, of nurturing, guiding, and believing in them when the world seemed indifferent. As they embraced, the story reached its quiet, powerful conclusion. Sharon and Martin had endured trials that tested not just their resources but their hearts. In each other, they found stability, courage, and love that transcended material concerns. Their journey, born from a single act of kindness at a dinner table, had evolved into a life-affirming story of redemption, trust, and the limitless value of human connection. Money, status, and possessions were fleeting. The love they shared, the support they provided each other, and the bond forged in adversity proved everlasting. They had discovered the profound truth that some treasures, compassion, loyalty, courage, and love, could never be quantified, never lost, and always endured, no matter the challenges life presented. In the end, Sharon and Martin stood together, a living testament to the idea that the most valuable things in life are often intangible, the wealth that comes from hearts intertwined, and the realization that love, truly, is priceless.